Hi, I'm Art Caplan. I'm at the Division of Medical Ethics at NYU Grossman School of Medicine in New York City. Well, post the election, the Trump administration is moving to make its appointments at the level of the cabinet, and many of the agencies that Trump is appointing people to, the appointments have turned out to be very controversial. Probably the most visible and widely discussed is RFK Jr., uh, nominated to be the head of Health and Human Services. But there are many other people moving into positions at CDC, NIH, FDA. If confirmed, they bring a lot of debate about the merits of having those individuals in charge. And they are certainly bringing a lot of debate into my area of medical ethics. I think many medical ethicists are concerned about these appointments, and I think it raises some important questions about the future of ethics in healthcare. Where will that go in a new Trump administration? Now, before I make a little prediction about that, I want to point out a survey was recently done of the professional side of medical ethics, people who identify as doing medical ethics or doing it part time, not just people who are ethicists, but doctors, lawyers, nurses who say, I'm running a program, teaching a program, I head of an ethics committee, I run an IRB, I'm part of the apparatus, if you will, of medical ethics. And the survey, which was done both of bioethics programs and at the big national bioethics meeting, turned out some findings. I don't think they're surprising. It turned out that when surveyed, the establishment in medical ethics is pretty male, pretty white, leans liberal left, isn't especially associated with strong religious practices or beliefs, and it is somewhat not in step with views that many in American society hold about key issues. For example, most of the medical ethics community, at least the ones formally with roles and jobs, they are supportive of women's rights, including abortion. Obviously, there are many uh, sectors of American society, many states, that do not support abortion rights and want it either eliminated or restricted. There are many bioethicists who fully support the use of infertility treatments. That's something that a lot of Americans are not sure about. And there are many bioethicists who support transgender rights, the right of a family to decide to transition a young child to a different sex, if that is what the doctor and the family and the individual believe is best. And it's clear that both Trump and many, many other Americans do not support that at all. So, in a way, the community of medical ethics is somewhat out of step with what the election results produced. And it is going to be a health field that is led by people who represent those more, and I'll say it with broad intent, conservative views, somewhat religiously driven in some cases, than you're going to see in the bioethics community. So, what does that portend? What's likely to be going on? And I'll make a few predictions. First, I think funding for bioethics activities that are linked up to transgender issues, linked up to promoting diversity, linked up to reproductive rights is going to be cut back. It's just going to be harder to launch studies to see, are people who go through transgender procedures happy? Um, what do we think about the use of infertility when somebody might be older or single? Bioethicists like to study those things and report the findings. I don't think that empirical information is going to be as easy to get. I think in some areas of the country, Texas, information about who's using abortion or what's going on with adverse events because you couldn't get an abortion, that empirical information is going to be suppressed. It already is a little bit. I think we're going to see, in other words, less empirical data available to ground an argument. And it doesn't surprise me all the time that ethicists are out of step with where society is. Sometimes the ethicists want to move society or the medical profession or a practitioner in a different direction. But that's going to be harder to do because the support for that out of government funding is not going to be there. Similarly, bioethics likes to think about world problems, pandemics. I don't think this administration, with a Make America Great Again, more isolationist stance, is going to be in any way interested in funding work on relationships, trying to figure out how to distribute resources, vaccines overseas in a pandemic, what to do about restricting travel, this sort of thing. I think the administration is going to say we protect ourselves. We're not as concerned about what goes on elsewhere, even if factually it's very important to pay attention early to outbreaks in other places if you want to control any type of pandemic infectious disease outbreak. So there could be tension there. There could be problems coming there in terms of public health policy in spaces like vaccines, in spaces like the distribution of resources that might be in our self-interest to tamp down pandemics, and mandates. I think, again, this administration is not in any way, and many American people are not, supportive of any type of mandates about masks or vaccines. And I think those issues are going to come under critical scrutiny and start to lose support at the federal level. I think overall, this administration also is very supportive of market solutions in healthcare. I think that that commission that was drawn up with Elon Musk to advise on these matters is going to take a position that may startle some, but I would predict they're going to go after the VA and try to privatize it. That is, outsource everything. There's a lot of VA care that is now outsourced, but if you're looking to make a big budget cut and you like free market ideas, I would tell you, watch what might happen at the VA. And that means people with special needs, special requirements, veterans who have spinal cord injuries, severe burns, mental health issues, they're very tough to outsource. I'm not saying you couldn't privatize more of the VA. It'll be a debate we're going to see. But the biggest publicly funded healthcare system in the world is about to get subjected to more pressure to go to market forces. And I'm not sure market forces, well, I am sure market forces have not done well in bringing us the most efficient, cheap, high quality healthcare in the world. Nonetheless, in Congress and in the administration, big support for moving the government out of healthcare, saving money, perhaps even taking a hard look at Medicare, certainly taking a hard look at Medicaid, maybe less people covered. So the ethical consequences of the new administration, personally, I oppose some of them, but that's neither here nor there. What's important is to realize that change is coming, and it isn't just coming in our ideas about defense or in our ideas about national security. It's coming to healthcare, I would predict, in a big way. Many major institutions, the VA, Medicaid, probably in for some readjustments that are going to be very controversial. And also in some substantive areas, transgender care, abortion policy, infertility care, I think we're going to see very little support coming from the administration and Congress for broadening or defending rights in those areas. So I think the future means speaking up, trying to fight when something looks like it is being eliminated or attacked that ought not be. I think bioethics, the medical ethicists, people who are interested in the ethics of healthcare should get louder, not retreat, not go into the corner. But I do think change is afoot and we better pay attention. I'm Art Caplan at the Division of Medical Ethics at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine. Thanks for watching.